What's up, everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure review. Today from Diamond Select, we're taking a look at a brand new line of action figures. This is, as you see in front of you, a 7-inch line of Lord of the Rings figures. Of course, we have GIMLI and LEGOLAS there, and these are based off of the Peter Jackson films as well. So for me personally, I was really excited to check these out. Of course, you can see the package here right in front of you has the Lord of the Rings logo, and then of course Frodo, Gandalf, Sauron. You can see here it's a deluxe action figure with Sauron parts, because that is right. The first 6 figures of this line include Build-A-Figure pieces for a 13-inch Sauron, which just sounds amazing. On the side of the box here, you can see it just has the logo at the bottom and another window. The back of the packages here, of course, have GIMLI and LEGOLAS. They are Wave 1. Here is a close-up of GIMLI's bio, and you can also see the Diamond Select logo, the New Line Cinema logo, and then sort of a reference scale of how big that Sauron is going to be. And then of course here is Legolas's bio. If you want to pause it, go ahead and read that. And of course on the bottom here you can see the barcode and the rest of all of the logos and whatnot for the figures. These are of course based on the Fellowship of the Ring versions of the characters as well. But now that we've taken a look at the packaging here, we're going to go ahead, get them open. We'll take a look at all of their accessories and then the figures themselves. First up here, we'll start with GIMLI's accessories. Here is the Sauron Build-A-Figure piece helmet, which just looks absolutely incredible. Take a look at all of that wonderful sculpt work and those very, very nice paint app details as well. I'm super excited to build this figure. I think it's going to be amazing. And with GIMLI, you also get 2 alternate gripping hands here for the axes. You can see they have horizontal hinges in them. They do have some really nice sculpted details there on the back of the hand. And of course, the brown gloves look very nice. The sculpt work is well detailed, of course. As is usual with Diamond Select, you can see like the ruffles in the gloves and such, so really nicely detailed. You also get all 3 of GIMLI's axes, and they are well sculpted and well detailed. Look at the gold and silver paint here for the blade of this axe. Moving down, you've got some more brown and gold, and the handle has some really nice sculpted detail there to sort of represent like a leather around the grip of the weapon. There's a little bit more gold there down at the bottom. Really nicely detailed. Then you also get his other single-bladed battle axe here, which again features that same level of detail here. Take a look at the blade and the actual wood part of the weapon here with some more intricate sculpting and paint. And again, that same detail there for like the handle, and the bottom here has more gold paint, and that just looks absolutely fantastic. And finally here you get his double-bladed axe, which of course, again, looks amazing. Same level of detail here throughout. Really great stuff here from Diamond Select in terms of the detail and the paint application on these weapons. I think they all turned out really well. So that is what you get with GIMLI accessory wise. Now I will show you what LEGOLAS comes with. Starting out here with the Build-A-Figure pieces LEGOLAS comes with, of course, you have the right arm of Sauron here, and you can see the ring is sculpted and painted on the finger there. Looking absolutely fantastic. Look at all the detail and the sculpt work and the paint application on this arm. It does have a single jointed elbow, a little less than 90 degrees. I'm not expecting much from the articulation of Sauron, but he's going to look amazing. And of course it does swivel, and the hand is the horizontal hinge and it rotates around. I will do a review of Sauron on his own. And of course here is the foot, which again looks absolutely fantastic. Single jointed knee here, but actually pretty good range of motion there. Just looking absolutely wonderful here. Of course, the foot does have some articulation as well, so that's good. Very nice. Oh, even some ankle pivot. That's awesome. So there you go. Then, of course, you get 3 arrows here, which are all bent to some degree right out of the packaging, so they will need to be straightened out, but they all are the same here. Do have some really nice details going on for the feathers, little bits of silver as well, and of course at the tip here, more silver paint. They look all right, you know, they're not bad, but they definitely could probably be a little bit better. And of course, Legolas has a quiver on his back where you can put all of these arrows for convenient storage, but of course it's loose. So be careful, and especially in case if he takes a shelf dive. And finally here for Legolas, we have his bow, which does have some really intricate details to it. Really nice gold paint there. It does actually have a real string here, so it does have some give to it. That's pretty awesome. Really nice details there. But yeah, Legolas is a little light on accessories. No alternate hands. He also has slots for his daggers there, sculpted onto the figure here, but he does not come with them. So you definitely get a little bit more with Gimli, but then again, you do get two giant Build-A-Figure pieces with Legolas, so maybe that is the compensation between the two, but I definitely would have liked to see Legolas's daggers. Okay, and so now that we've taken a look at all of their accessories, let's go ahead, we'll get the rotating base out, and I'm going to show you how these guys look together. All right, and here is Gimli and Legolas out of the packaging, and of course, in typical Diamond Select fashion, they look pretty damn awesome. I think particularly Gimli looks fantastic. Legolas, I think, definitely could look a little bit better, but I do see the Orlando Bloom in the face, and it definitely looks really good from certain angles, which I'll show you, of course, in close detail. So yeah, already I'm seeing things that I really like. Of course, these figures definitely have some flaws to them, mostly with the articulation, and we'll go over that. But first, let's go ahead. We're going to start out here and take a closer look at Gimli. All right, here we are up close with Gimli, and yeah, you could just see all of the amazing sculpt work and paint application detail on this figure. The beard has some really intricate sculpting. I think the braids look fantastic. The black wash that is in it as well just adds to how fantastic the figure truly looks. And I think it does feature some really nice likeness to Gimli's actor, whose name currently escapes me at the moment. But of course, take a look at the face, the helmet, the eyebrows, all this wonderful detail along just the head of the figure right now. We haven't even moved down here. Of course, you've got another sculpted braid on the back with some more gold all between the locks. Just really fantastic paint application and details here. I think the armor too looks incredible. The different textures for like the chainmail and the leather, everything like that just really look fantastic, especially for this figure only being $25. But we all know Diamond Select absolutely always kills the details and paint application. And here's a close-up of the boots as well, also looking absolutely fantastic. There's a wash on the legs as well to bring out some of that dimension of the figure here. Some gauntlet details as well. On the back of the figure, all these pouches and like the sleeping bag there, all expertly painted. Really great details here on Gimli. I think Gimli is an awesome looking figure. Detail wise, you know, they absolutely nailed it. I think Gimli is a big win. So we're gonna go ahead, set him back here, and now let's take a look at Legolas. All right, and here he is, right up close and personal, and you can see, yeah, the head sculpt could definitely be better. It could definitely look a little bit more like Orlando Bloom, but I really do think that in some angles it really does capture his likeness well. And I think for Diamond Select, it's actually a pretty great human face. Normally that's where Diamond Selects really start to fall apart, but Legolas, I think, looks pretty damn good, not gonna lie. Of course, I think the hair might be a little bit too blonde, but you can see it still features the same level of sculpted detail, just like Gimli, especially for the quiver and the dagger holsters and everything like that on the back of this figure here. Just absolutely wonderful paint app details, the paint variety, everything is really fantastic here on Legolas's back. Love the intricate details. Of course, his costume as well has a similar amount of detail, very accurate to Fellowship. You've got your browns and your greens, and there's also, of course, a wash on the figure here, so it looks gritty, looks a little bit more realistic, which I very much appreciate. Gauntlets there look pretty good. The belt itself as well, just absolutely fantastic. And then down with the boots here, just everything Really looks great on both of these figures detail-wise. And then again, like I said, for Diamond Select, this human head is actually pretty damn good, so I gotta give it to him. And then of course a quick look at his hands. You can see he's got a pre-posed arrow holding hand, which is good, but at the same time, once we start getting into their articulation, you will definitely see where these figures are going to fall very short. All right, so let's go ahead. I'll put Legolas back over here. Now we're going to pull Gimli to the front and I will show you his articulation. All right, as far as the head tilt goes, that is what you get up and that is what you get down. So absolutely abysmal head articulation here. You do get some side to side, but of course the beard is thick, hard plastic, so you're not going to be able to get much out of it. You do get some tilt there, which isn't bad. I don't think you need a super articulated Gimli here, but it is still very limited. For the shoulders here, they do go all the way out. You do have to kind of lift the shoulder armor up a little bit to clear the plastic there, like so, but it works out pretty easily. So decent range there. Of course, the arm can rotate around. You do have a bicep swivel. Single jointed elbow, that gives you exactly 90 degrees. And of course, it does swivel. The wrists rotate around, and they both have horizontal hinges here. So, a little bit of a bummer. Of course, like I always say in my Star Wars reviews, definitely always prefer vertical hinges here. And you can see both hands have the horizontal joints. But at least like you saw at the beginning when they were on the base, Gimli can, or you can at least simulate him holding his battle axe with both hands. Now, as far as the crunch goes, it's really hard to get any sort of movement out of it, but let's see here. That is about what you get forward. Kind of have to pinch his legs because of the skirt piece here. That is what you get back, so pretty much just a straightforward look. Of course, it does rotate as well here, and you do get just a little bit of side to side here. So pretty much zero range of motion there in the chest abdomen region. For his leg here, he can kick out about that far. Even with the skirt piece out of the way, which, wow, look at the details underneath the skirt. The leg just doesn't have all that much range of motion there. You do get a thigh swivel that doesn't really want to work. The whole leg is wanting to twist right here. Gimli can do the splits. He can kick back ever so slightly. You get a single jointed knee that gives you that much range, so not much at all. No swivel there for it. And down to his boots here, they can go down about that far. Could go up a decent amount as well. And he does have peg holes and ankle pivots. So overall, I think for Gimli, the articulation isn't horrible. It's not great, but you can still get classic Gimli poses out of this figure, which I wish I could say the same for Legolas, but let's go ahead and jump back over to Legolas and I'll show you his articulation, which I find to be rather frustrating. So starting out here, of course, you do get better head movement than Gimli. The hair is sculpted to specifically rest on his shoulders though, so it does look a little silly when you have him looking up, and same when you have him looking down, although again, you still get decent range of motion there. Of course, the head can go side to side. You can exorcist him around, but it is difficult since the hair kind of is sculpted to fit underneath here by the dagger holsters. Of course, you do get better tilt as well, so you do get plenty of attitude for Legolas. You do get full range of motion here out of the shoulders. They, of course, can rotate around as well. Now, this is, of course, the first major oof of this Legolas figure, and that is the single jointed elbow that doesn't even get you full 90 degrees. And what makes this even worse is that if you take a look at the back of the package here, the prototype image, which is all we saw of Legolas before it was released, had double elbows. So at some point they ditched the double elbows. It also looks like Gimli had double elbows too. But you definitely need double elbows for an archery character, especially when there's no butterfly joints either. So it's going to be very difficult to pose Legolas shooting his bow or anything like that, which is a big time bummer. So yeah, that's the range of motion there out of the single elbow. It, of course, has swivel to it. The hand rotates and does have a horizontal hinge here. Same with the other arrow posed hand. just the horizontal hinge there. For Legolas's crunch, this is what you get forward, and you really get nothing going back. Of course, you do get a little bit of side to side there, and some rotation, of course. But again, very limited chest region, very limited arms. There's not going to be a whole lot of options when it comes to posability with this Legolas. His leg articulation, even with the skirt lifted up, only goes up. Well, I guess that leg might be frozen, but I popped his leg off there. So his leg will pop off, really, if you kick out higher than that. So really limited articulation there for the legs, even when they don't even need to be, but they are. Legolas also does not have a thigh swivel. His legs can move out about that far, and he can kick back about that far. You get a single jointed knee that is absolutely terrible, but the hinge is actually hidden, so that's kind of neat. Of course, it does swivel as well. And finally, down to the feet here, you do get excellent range going down, a pretty decent amount going up as well. Of course, peg holes and ankle pivot are on this figure as well. So really, really honestly disappointing articulation here from Legolas. You know, he's a bow wielding character. He's agile. You do want to have some dynamic posing going on with Legolas, and this figure does not deliver in that regard. So if articulation is really your thing and you're a collector, you know Diamond Select really never focuses on articulation. But if you've never owned a Diamond Select, you know, they look great, but the articulation is never exactly how you want it to be. I think for GIMLI it works just fine, but for Legolas, it's definitely going to cause major issues with any sort of dynamic posing you'd want to do with them. But now we're going to set them back here, and I will show you how they scale. First up here, we've got the McFarlane Witcher 3 Aridin, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I don't know, he's just a cool skeleton knight guy. And then of course we have the DC Multiverse Death Metal Batman. Here they are with the Golden Angel NECA Predator and then the Diamond Select Boba Fett. And we've got him with the Mythic Legions Malleus and the Bandai Shadow Stormtrooper. That's the movie realization version. And we got some more knights here, of course. That's the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Magna Defender. And then the NECA Heroes of the Storm Arthas, aka the Lich King. And finally here, of course, it wouldn't be an Out of the Basement review without the SH Figuarts Tank Pilot and the Mafex First Order Stormtrooper. Alright, so there you have it. There was my review for the new GIMLI and Legolas from Diamond Select. Definitely think where these figures shine are in the details. Of course, GIMLI overall I think is the superior figure. You get more accessories, the articulation works in his character's favor. Legolas definitely could have used some improvement. Maybe some butterfly joints could have helped with the single elbows, or maybe just the double elbows that were on the prototype could have just stuck with the figure here. You can see I tried my best to sort of simulate a two-handed bow pose, and it looks all right, but it was definitely very tricky, and I tried to have the arrow in there, but with the rotating base, the arrow just falls right out. So yeah, I'm going to leave this one up to you, whether you want to pick these up or pass on them. Of course, I'm all in. What really drew me to this line was that Build-A-Figure Sauron, so I'm in it for the long haul. Give me that Sauron. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement, and I will see you next time.